42. As the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul pants for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all day long, where is your God? These things I remember, and I pour out my soul within me. For I used to go along with the throng and lead them in processions in the house of God, with the voice of joy and thanksgiving, a multitude keeping festival. Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him, for the help of his presence. O my God, my soul is in despair within me. Therefore I remember you from the land of the Jordan, and the peaks of Hermon, from Mount Mizar. Deep calls to deep at the sound of your waterfalls. All your breakers and your waves have rolled over me. The Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and his song will be within me in the night. A prayer to the God of my life. I will say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As a shattering of my bones, my adversaries revile me. While they say to me all day long, where is your God? Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, to help the help of my countenance and my God. Psalm 42, a very well-known psalm, of course, that great hymn, as the deer pants for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. They wrote that one in the King James, right? And essentially what's happening here is what we would call today depression. Right? He said, look, I used to want to go to church. I used to lead the congregation with shouts of joy singing your praises. And now I'm like, where are you at? And my enemies even look at me and say, hey, where's your God now? Where did he go? You know, in the New Testament, where is the appearance of his coming? You say Jesus is coming back to snatch all you guys out of the world? Waiting. I've heard that one myself. People have said, dude, 2,000 years, man. You've been waiting 2,000. Give it up. That's depressing. And David's feeling it. He's feeling that depression. So what do you do when you're feeling the depression? Well, I love David's response here. Depression, by the way, not sin. Whether it's clinical depression, where there's actually like a chemical imbalance, something's off, you got some sort of like a thyroid thing going on or whatever. Whether it's that, or whether it's just a depressing time in life and you just can't surmount your problems and your soul just feels like it's dragged down. St. John of the Cross used to call this the dark night of the soul. David felt it. Right? So what does he do? Well, what he does first is he acknowledges some of God's attributes. Deep calls out to deep with the sound of your waterfalls. All your breakers and your waves have rolled over me. He's like, look, you're powerful enough to control all of nature, and that power is not only, it doesn't seem to be benefiting me at the moment, it's actually crashing over me and probably causing me even more harm. I'm caught up in the middle of this dryer cycle of whatever it is that you're doing, and it hurts. But, verse 8, the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime. His song will be with me in the night. In other words, the sun's going to come out at some point on this whole situation. And when that happens, I will see the loving kindness, that Hebrew word chesed, the covenant commitment, the patience, the unwavering, unfailing love and favor of God. Whenever that sun comes out, it's going to illuminate what God's been doing in love this entire time. And I'm going to see it. I don't see it right now. That's okay to admit. But I will see it someday. You know what we call that, guys? We call it faith. Right? Faith is knowing that something is true when you can't see it. Okay? Even through the doubts. Even when you say, God, do you have my best interest in mind? Or, like, I know, I've heard pastors say this before. I know you're real. I just don't know if you're any good because I don't see the good. And so I feel this uncertainty about your character or about your intentions or whatever. And yet, there's this panting inside of me. My soul pants for God like a deer pants for water, right? I gotta drink some of this. He says that comes from somewhere. God is actually in the middle of all of this mess, drawing me towards himself, and I'm just going to be careful to acknowledge that I'm ready to respond whenever. I don't feel it at the moment. My feelings will come and go. So in the middle of those difficult, dark feelings, I know who you are, and at some point I will see you come through. I'm waiting. I hope you come quickly, but I trust you. Trust God with your depression.